Good morning. My name is Jean-Paul, and I'm gonna need your help today. But first, I introduce myself. I need your help. Will here speaks native Dutch and English. That's one. That's two. I'll pick you. What's your name? Bart. The problem is I don't do talks in English, but I was asked by CreativeMornings if I can do a talk today, and I thought, okay, fuck it, I will do it. But I need Bart's help today the whole morning. So if I struggle, or if I do something wrong, or if I don't know anything, I need your help today. Then we can start because we have Bart on board. Yes! I'm Jean-Paul, and my whole life is based on the internet. It started when I was 7 years old. I started making radio, and I'm going to tell you all about it. And everything I do, the place where I live, my girlfriend, but also the people who I know, my best friends, they are all from the internet. I know those people from the internet, and all the projects I work on are mostly from Twitter. And that's all because I'm from a really small village in Groningen, Stadskanaal. Does someone know where Stadskanaal is? No, seriously? Where? Where in the map?
Oh, where in the map? I can't tell you, but I've been there.
Yes? Where have you been to Stadskanaal?
I lived in Groningen for a while.
Oh, seriously? Oh, what? Really, I never have someone who knows where Stadskanaal is. But anyway, it's just over there. It's a really, really small village with, 200,000, no, that's not true, 20,000 people. To give you a small introduction, if you go to our website, Beukema.me, that's my last name by the way, hey, you will see this, and then you, to translate it, where can I help you with? And then you click on a question. So you click on a question like, Hola supermercado. For the people who know the jeugd van tegenwoordig, it's a Dutch band, small joke. Why a website like this? What are you doing? And that's a great question. I internet, I make radio, and I have adventures. But for you, I can work on your but for you, I can work on your brand, social media content, online advertisement, online tooling, but also a whole campaign or mostly like that. And that's also what I really do. I do everything with interaction, like things like these presentations. A lot of give colleagues, but also a lot of social media content, and that's also what my team does. And that's Beukema.me. I was 40 years old, and I needed a company name, and it was Beukema.me. It was the best name I could choose that moment. And today's team is genius, and I have no idea why I was asking this team, because I not seeing myself as a genius, of course. I see myself more like a weird ass in the seriously true. So no, I'm not a genius, but my idea about a genius is that you can do all day what you love, and that's what I'm doing currently, and that's what I do the past years. I do what I love, and that's what a true genius is. But today I should call myself a genius because that's today's theme. You know I do. But if you think about genius, most people will think about Elon Musk. But for me, a genius is not Elon Musk. I'm sorry, Elon, not today. Not today. A genius for me is something like him. I don't think anyone knows this man. It's Jojo Kincaid, it's an American radio host, and for me it's a truly hero. If you just listen to this.
Credit approval. Yeah. Dealer participation may affect final price. Yeah.
This is it, the beginning of your party music marathon, money in music. Friday, my attitude is showing. Jojo cooking here on cue. 1, 6. Write the song down. Word up. This will get you $106 if you count to win on the cue.
Yeah, this is a true hero, seriously. If you can make radio like this, I would love to do this all day. I can also, but it's very funny because today he's using a lot of drugs on his radio show. It's really relentless. This is him actually now, but I still love this man. Jojo Kincaid, write the name down if you want to look something up. Still love this man, seriously. And I'm going to tell you a lot about my timeline of my childhood today. And these are the most important years when I was young. So 4 years old. You think, what can you do when you're 4 years old? Boena's Ed and Eddie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? A lot of people, oh nice. There was a lemonade stand in the series. Does someone know the lemonade stand?
Yeah.
Oh great. The lemonade stand inspired me to start a lemonade stand when I was 4 years old. So I was 4 years old, I had my lemonade, yeah seriously. I had a lemonade stand and it seriously, Ed and Eric inspired me to start a lemonade stand. And I was just yelling at cars, oh my gosh, buy my lemonade. And I was 4 years, so I thought, fuck it, it was 50 cents and my parents bought all the cups and shit. And that's where I first started, I guess. But the real start for me was not when I was 4 years old, but more when I was 7 years old, because that was the moment I discovered making radio. I was really young, I was on the internet, and I was playing, I was the weirdo, and I discovered the internet. And that was the moment where I could find like-minded people, I could find friends, I could find, because I was always the weird ass in Stadskanaal, because no people are there like here, you can laugh about my jokes, but people in Stadskanaal don't. And seriously, but those people were not my friends, so I could find them online. So where I could find like-minded people, and that was on the internet. I made Twitter then, I started making friends, and I started making radio through an online game, Habbo Hotel. Did someone played it? Oh, nice! Great group this time. Habbo Hotel was an online game in 2007, and still. But this website, this game, had a fan site. And at these fan sites, there were a radio station and news headquarters, and a lot of today's Dutch radio hosts started online at Habbo Hotel. Seriously, that's true. And I started there too, and the fan site looked like this. And it's really funny because I just bought a microphone from a local store, and I just started broadcasting. It sounded like nothing. I had a higher voice. I sounded like this. And people listen to it. Like if you see her, for listeners, that's nothing, of course. But I did it, it was fun, I was 7 years old, I had no idea about the world, I was living in Stadskanaal. And that was the moment I discovered radio, and I did that for a really long time, because when I was 30 years old, I still did make radio. I did that for a bigger radio station, the radio station of Groningen, Oog Radio. And that was quite fun, but the problem was with, But the thing that I discovered when I was 30 years old is that what you do with radio is marketing, because you want to send a listener to an action. So what you want to do is that your listeners send a text message at you on Snapchat, at you on Facebook, do with your competition. And I got a lot of radio training, I got a lot of information about how to get your radio listeners to an action. So I thought, okay, I know radio, maybe I can do something with marketing. So I just did some self-study and some research, and I watched a lot of TED Talks, read a lot of ebooks, and then I just started contacting companies with these emails. Hi there, my name is Beukema. Yeah, I won't read it, but these were the emails I sent to companies. I was 30 years old, I thought, fuck it, what is the world? And it seriously happened, and I got reactions, of course. I got reactions from bosses, from CEOs, from really big companies, and they said, okay, sounds fun. Let's grab a cup of coffee. And that seriously happened. I was 30 years old, and I went with a train from Stadskanaal to Utrecht, Amsterdam. It was a 3.5 hour train ride for just one cup of coffee, and there I got my first clients. Yeah, if you want to call the email, just use this one. Also, if you're 30, just use this email. It always works. And there it was really fun because I had a conversation with a CEO, and I said, yeah, I saw this online, or I learned this when I was making radio, and I have the idea that you can just implement that if you do this and this. And they were like, okay, cool, here you have money, good luck with the project. And then I had my first clients. I was 30 years old, and I still know that I had my first client, I had my first reaction on one of those emails, and I walked down the stairs, Mom, I got my first client, oh my gosh, it worked out! And the fun part was, there was nothing official. I didn't have a account from Coop on the registration, I didn't have a text number, nothing. It was just me and my computer and an email account. And that was just Jan Beukema at live.nl. So I hadn't had anything official, but I got my first clients. When I was 40 years old, I started my official company, so I had a year long, I was illegal. No one complained about it. It is totally okay if you just start the company before you have, and if you want to get, this is the reason why I asked about. I started my company before the officials, and that works out really well. If you want my opinion on starting a company, just start with the company before you have anything official, because if you will find out that your company sucks or your ID sucks, then you know before you have the officials and you put all your money in it. It really helps. That's one of the best advices I got, and I advise to everyone. So at 30 years old, I got more clients. I went from Stadskanaal to Amsterdam a lot of times. But when I was 50 years old, it really went fast. Because what happened with me is that I was still making radio. Hey, But more important, I did my first big campaign, and this is one of my proud things. It was the first big campaign that I did. This is a Facebook post I made for the client. But what I did with that campaign, we were flying through Europe and we were launching Chris brand. And I was 15 years old. So I was flying through Europe, and every weekend I was at another city, at another place. But every time at the border control, I need to explain my story. Yeah, I'm 50 years old, this is my client, we need to go through. And every week again, I need to tell them, and they were like, can I call your parents? Which is totally okay, but it was for me like a story I told mostly daily because we were flying a lot. From London to Berlin, if you see here, Amsterdam, Berlin, Paris, and London. So we were flying a lot, and we launched a Chris brand at 50 years old. That was my first real campaign. What I did, I was the partnership manager and the social media manager and the press releaser. So I had a lot of talks. I was going daily from Stadskanaal to Amsterdam, so I had a daily travel time of 7 hours. That was a really weird time because my alarm went off every day at 6. I was at work at 9:10, something like that. And then I worked until 9:10, and then I was at home at 1 a.m. And then the day after, I still had the same, so I was at 6 at the office, 6 was my alarm, and then every day on. And in the weekends, we need to fly to launch the brand in the cities. And it was also the year that I hired my first employee. And that was the most weirdest thing that could happen to me. My company went fast, I did a great campaign, I did my first big campaign. So I thought, okay, I need to grow, I need someone who helps me all the time. And that was William. And the most fun part is, William was the man who made my coffee every single day. He was the guy at the train station who worked at the kiosk and made my coffee, and we had a small chit chat, and he told me, it's seriously true, and he told me sometimes, yeah, I did journalism, and I know code, and he could do a lot of things, but he worked in retail just because he loved it. And I thought, okay, cool. And one day I got my coffee, and I said, hey William, what do you think about working for me? And he was like, JP, you're 50 years old. And that's a really weird question from a 50-year-old who grabs your coffee every single day. But it worked. So first of all, we didn't do the official, exactly as with my company, I didn't do the official part, I just transferred the money into his account. No contract, no debt. It was just simple, I was 50 years old. And it worked out really well, and later on, after a month or 6, I thought, okay, I want to let this man grow, I want to help this guy, I want to have him in my company for a longer term. So then I hired him. I was 50 years old and I had a contract with a payroll company because I couldn't have any official employer ID. So I couldn't give him a normal contract, I need to have him on payroll, I need to have him an NDA signed. And that were the only things I could do because I can't hire someone, I still can't hire someone. My whole team is all by payroll just because my age won't let me hire someone. It's seriously true. But I was 50 years old, I hired my first employee, and we were growing really fast. And we're now 2 years later on, and I'm now 17. We were now with a bigger team. This is my whole team. Hey, nice pictures by the way. We are now with a bigger team, and this is still our payroll. And the problem is that if you're starting at such a young age, you can do the official thing. So if you look at my bank account, this is really true. This is just my parents' account, and this is still a younger age account, because I can't open a corporate account because you need to be 18. There's no bank who can help you. So there's not an option that I can open my bank account. I can't have a credit card. I can't sign contracts. I can't hire employees. I walk through a lot of borders, but it is possible if you just walk through the rules. And I still know that I was 14. I was sitting at the Kamer van Koopel, 15. I was sitting at the Kamer van Koopel where I got my tax number and my official registration for my company, and they were like, you're 50 years old. Do you want to register a fucking company? Do you know what you're doing? And my parents were sitting next to me because they needed to sign for it. And they were like, we don't know what he's doing, but we want this. And it was weird because later on, that's also a funny story, when I was 50 years old, my parents were sitting with me, and they were saying, Hippie, we saw a lot of money incoming in your account, and we saw a lot of outgoing to random persons who we don't know. Are you a criminal? Seriously, no, seriously. My parents still have no idea what I'm actually doing, but I have to explain that I'm not a criminal. I'm just doing what I love. I got clients, and they were like, "Are you sure this is not illegal what you're doing?" And it still isn't illegal what I'm doing. But I need to explain a lot about my story, a lot about my life, and every single day I need to tell someone what I'm doing and how I'm doing. And that's when I was 17 years old. And if you look at the timeline of my childhood, of course, this is the classic one, what happens to everyone. A lot of fails, or should be a lot more. A lot more, because of course you fail, you fall hard. I almost went bankrupt at 16. I had my first, what? Faillissement in Engels?
Foreclosure.
Foreclosure? Bankrupt?
Bankrupt.
I had my first client who went bankrupt at the age of 15, 16. So yeah, that was a fail because I got money from this, my employees got money from them. I had a lemonade stand who always went bankrupt. No, that's not. So the advice I want to give you is that you just need to start, and please go build and fix the officials later, because it's not necessary to have your officials, and then just start what you love. And also, if you're working for a client, I would advise you just start with your products. Also, if you don't have any improvements, just go start the first things where you don't need an improvement on or a signature, or you can just start. Also, if I'm working for a client, we mostly just start before we got the official paperwork and we have the contracts, and you can just go build. And that's the one thing I want to tell you and advise you. And that's it for today. Thanks. How do you get out of school? That's a great question. I got a complaint about the gemeente, city council, and they asked me, okay, you're not going to school that much, and you're mostly off 90% of the time. What are you doing? And then I went with my parents to the office, and I said, okay, I'm running a company, and they were like, okay, we need to think about it, and we need to give an option what we can do, because we have no any idea how we can deal with it. And then later on I got a letter with, hey, okay, you're now totally off everything, you can do what you want, you can get every lesson off. And the same as when I started my company and went to clients, when I still lived in Stadskanaal. After school it was 3, then I went on the train, I was at 6 with my clients, so I had an appointment at 6, later on in the midday, and then I had an appointment until 8, went back, and it was 11, and then I went back from school clients. So that's yeah. Yeah.
How do you convince your clients, because at the age of, let's say, 17 right now, how do you convince them to probably trust you, not to look at you at your age?
That's really hard, and I always, I don't have any clients who rate me on my age. No client of me thinks I'm 17, okay, that sucks. They only think about the advice we give and the things we do for the clients. But it's not something that, it's very hard, because we need to convince clients with the best advice, and we need to keep the best track of the results, because that's the only reason, of the only way to show our clients that we do something which is optional good. Yeah.
What's your difference between like you as a company as like all the companies?
What is my USP? I think that we are a very smart intelligence company. All we do is data driven. Of course, that's everyone now, but we're good at interaction, because our specialty is interaction in web design and in social media content. And if you look at the data from our Facebook advertisements we make, or the website that we make, is that there is a lot higher than normal on interaction. So people comment more likely on your Facebook page, comment more, go to more to your website, and that's the best reason why more, because the interaction with the website is better. And that's also the reason I get clients, because the interaction with my website, with my domain, is a lot better than our competitors. Yeah. Other questions? Yeah.
I think just seeing your website is really interesting. Can you talk about your approach to just your website, how simple it was?
Oh yeah, of course. You mean yeah? It's a good question. The website Beukema is a website where you can just tap to ask a question, and then you get an answer. And that's all based. I did it all on myself. I had a great designer on it, Martin Dijk. And the thing with the website is all we do with our company is interaction. So we help companies with interaction, so why is our website not exactly what we do? We interact for our clients, our website interacts with you, our possible client. So that is the whole thing through. It's in a chat screen, because one of the most oldest versions of interaction is a chat. And that is the whole idea behind the website. That's a good answer? Yeah. Someone else.
Finally, you moved to Amsterdam?
I live in Rotterdam! Sorry, yes. If someone has a room in Amsterdam, please call me, or an apartment. I can't find anywhere to live in Amsterdam. It's not. Yeah, it's a 45 minutes train ride every day. Yeah. Yes.
Where would you like to get to? So you've done so much already.
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, next year I'm starting Monday with BNNVARA. It's a public omroep.
Broadcaster?
Yeah, not a broadcaster, but the content provider for the broadcaster. I'm starting there on Monday for 3 days a week, so I think I'm going to learn there a lot about other tone of voices, other strategies. I'm going to do a lot of awesome programs. The IV titles with them online. And after that, I think, and that's the most classic answer I know, I think I will go to Hyper Island for some time. Maybe. I heard some mood. And after that, I think I will, don't know if I want to stay in the Netherlands, because I love America a lot, of course. So I think in America, but I still have no idea. I'm 17. Yes?
Could you talk a little bit about your parents?
Good, that's a good one. My father is a doctor, and my mother is a doctor, administrative person. So they're not in the industry, they're not that creative, to be honest. That is true. So they're doctors mostly, and I got excited about entrepreneurship and doing things just by the internet. Just I saw it's really nice, because there's an important man in my life that's here in the room. Tygo, look over there. Woo! And Tygo is one of my best friends, but he inspired me a few years ago when I was 40 to go to events, go to Amsterdam, go to the best place and go discover new clients. So it's also internet and the best person in your life who helped me, inspire me to start a company. Is that belonging? Yeah, that's not my parents, but my parents have no clue what I'm doing. Sometimes they say, "Oh yeah, I'm speaking here, or I have now this client on board," and they see the revenue literally coming in because it's still their bank account, which is really weird. Wait, she was registered. Yeah.
What about radio? Is that still interesting?
That's also a good one. I'm currently not making radio. And that's because the reason I'm in a training for the NPO, that's the Dutch broadcaster, and they train me a lot and help me a lot to discover new methods of making radio and get your talks better. But I had 3 years, I was in the radio school there, and then they said, okay, you're kind of done for now. You need to get a lot of life experiences, so go everywhere, do anything, and get a lot of life experience, because that is what you need as radios. If someone calls you at 3 a.m. at night and they say, oh my god, my relationship is broken, I don't know what to do, and I have never had a broken relationship, then I can level with the person. So for now it's on hold, but I'm still busy with some other questions.
Yes. So you obviously had a different path than most 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
Would you restructure the educational system?
What?
Would you restructure the school system?
Definitely.
How?
Yeah, how to give everyone the possibilities I had. Because I was limited in the schools, in the times, in anything I did. And it is possible to just go through that, but it's not the most easy path you choose, and I chose for that. But to make it more open and just give yourself the choice, also if you're at a very young age, it would help a lot.
How? 3 things.
How? To do the same that as I did, because the deal I always had with my schools is that I need to do my homework, I need to do anything, all the exams, everything, but I don't have to go to the lessons. And that helps because I can always on the train, I can just take my book with me on a plane, I can work anywhere from school, just a kind of remote school system. That's the answer for my school system. That's kind of how I did.
Is there any company somewhere in the world that you do look up to, that you think is doing?
I joked about Elon Musk, but seriously, Elon is one of the most inspiring persons I can find, of course, because I think for everyone here that he walks through New York and then he thinks, oh, I want a company called Boring, and then he just started a company called Boring. That's really weird. So, of course, Elon Musk, seriously, also what he did with PayPal, also now with Tesla, SpaceX, Boring. Hyperloop, that he just thinks, okay, I'll just throw over to the crowd and then good luck with it, this is my idea. Yeah, that man is insane. Jojo and Kate from a radio aspect, because he is a really great radio host. But that's it, I think. Someone else.
Any more questions?
Oh, yeah.
Are you getting into future technologies like AI and stuff? Are you starting to integrate that?
From my work as an interaction expert, I think that the next step on interaction and on technology is the voice assistant. If you look at Alexa, if you look at Amazon Echo, then you will find out that this is the best way to express yourself, because you have your tone of voice, you have the loudness, you have the words you use. So if you use a computer, you just have your desktop and a web page, but if you use your voice, you can say a lot more with less words and with less time. So I believe a lot, if Apple with the HomePod goes great, that is the next step on technology level. And that is where I truly believe in, and that's where I also advise all my clients, if you work for clients, advise them to do something with voice assistants, because that's going to be the next step. No one ever started with using your mouse. It's really weird why we're doing that. Someone thought it one day. It's the same with your keys. It's really weird to interact with something. If you think about it. Yeah.
Hi, I'm thinking, what's your dream? But if you can do everything you can, like everything is possible.
The most important thing I always, with everything I do, is that I always have fun of it. And that's the same with my company. I started with just fun, and everything I do, all the clients I work for, are just like fun. I don't want to get out of bed and think, oh, let's go to my job again from 9 to 5 at the office. I don't want anything about like that. I just want to be happy with what I'm doing, with the work I do, but that's a classic one. But I think I want to maybe grow my company, if there's a possibility for that. I want to maybe live the American dream. I don't believe in it, but I still want to live it. I think
Final question? That's it. If you have any questions, everybody will be around, so feel free to do so, and see you next time. Thanks for coming.